Hello there and welcome back to Szpakowo. So what do we have on the cards for November? Well, with our new field purchase at the end of the last episode, we have a whole large field of grass to mow with our new mower. So that is going to be one of our priorities for this month. What I would like to do ideally is have enough money to buy the bale wrapper so that we can wrap the bales and have them ferment into silage, because if we look at sale prices for grass, so sale prices for grass goes up to 88 euros per 1,000 litres. However, if we look at silage, it goes up to 241, so it's 3 times the price for fermenting the grass into silage. So I think it's worth mowing the grass, letting it ferment into silage, and then the top price is actually in March. So I haven't fermented silage in FS25 yet, but based on FS22 fermentation times, it's about 3 months. So December, January, February. It'll be at its premium price when it's ready to be sold. That's going to be the plan for this month. Before we do that, let's take a look at prices for some of the crops we have. So we can offload this canola this month because maximum price is 1313 and it's currently at 1304. So we can offload that to get ourselves a little bit of money. We can, let's take a look at straw. When's the good sell price for straw? 88 and it's currently at 82. So next month is the best sell price for straw. However, that's only going to get us another 100 or so, 200 or so euros. So it might be worth looking at offloading that this month. And then what else do we have? I'm not going to offload the wheat. I'm going to keep the wheat and put that into the grain mill when we get it. So I think based on that, I think not. We'll get rid of the canola. We'll go down and offload that at Henrik's SP quickly. That's just behind the vehicle store. Then we will grab the mower and we will mow this field. And then we'll get the bale wrapper and wrap some bales. So let's drop off our new shiny mower. We'll pick up our trailer and we will go and pick up the canola from our silo. So we've got a problem here. We have soybeans in the trailer and we don't have any room in the silo. So we don't have any way to switch them out. We might have to ditch the soybeans. Yeah, I mean, they're not at a great price. They're 1,000 euros off. It's 3,000 euros we're losing out on by ditching them early. But I don't think we've got a way around it, because if we ditch it on the floor, we're going to have to buy some kind of scoop to scoop it up again when we do want to sell it, and that's going to cost us probably at least 3,000. So I'll take this over to the store. I'll take it over to Henrik's SP. We'll offload this, then we'll offload the canola. And we'll just have to take that small hit. I don't think it's going to be an issue because we are going to have plenty of silage come January or February time. We also need to go over that field with lime and quite possibly, well, definitely fertilizer as well. So that can take up the second half of the month. So offloading the soybeans. 3,161. Let's go back over to our farm and pick up the canola. So I think the first thing we're going to buy for our new field is a silo. We need a silo first so that we can transfer all the grain, because I would like to sell this field fairly soon. I can't sell it until I've sold all the buildings, so we will need to make sure our silo's empty, so we will need to buy a silo that is as big or bigger. I'm thinking we'll probably get a bigger silo, maybe something that can handle like 50 to 60,000 litres. So after the bale wrapper, I think that should be our next purchase. Okay, so this is the canola being offloaded. Let's spin ourselves round and let's take a look at bale wrappers. Now I know we didn't buy a bale wrapper last month because we wanted to check on the off chance if something came up in the discount store. So let's take a look if our wishes have come true. No, they have not. Oh well. It didn't do us any harm, I guess. Okay, so we will... Taking a look at this, voucher of Vamlet, up to 200 horsepower. Yeah. We don't have the money for a new tractor right now. Let's go to bale wrappers. Where are they? Wrappers. So we'll pick this up for... Oh, we actually have the money to buy the towed bale wrapper. Should we buy the towed one rather than the mounted one? Oh, let's take a look at this. So it's a 3-point that we want. Do we want the support roller? I don't think we... Do we need the support roller? I actually don't know what this does. I think we're good without it. And then... Oh, we get to choose the wrap colour. I guess we're going to need the wrap anyway at some point. So what should we go with? We'll go with... Oh, you can't have a blue wrap? Why not? That's no good, is it? We'll go with the black wrap. There we go. Okay, so we now have a bale wrapper. And we almost have enough money for that front mower. What I'm actually wondering, because with our current mower, we're going to be leaving a streak. So, what I'm wondering is if we should do a small contract quickly to get ourselves enough money to buy the cheap front mower, and then we won't have to worry about missing streaks and we'll get more silage. I think that's a good play, actually. So, what do we have? Any liming contracts? Yeah, we have a liming contract on field 108. So I think we'll take that, and that will get us a nice amount of money. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. So we could do that and 120, and that will get us a nice 18,000. I think that is a good idea. So I will take this, and I'll take the one for 5,000 on 120. I think that's the other closest one to where we are. Yeah, I'll take that one for 5,000. And then we will get these done quickly, and then we can buy the extra mower and do the mowing properly. I'll rejoin you once we're complete. Okay, so we are done with the 2 liming contracts. So let's switch off the engine quickly and let's take a look. So we'll collect these 2 contracts, and now we have 28,000 again. So we can go into our mowers and let's take a look at which one we should get. So I don't really see the difference in terms of a front mower. I don't see the point in buying the one that matches, because it just doesn't seem worth it. It just makes more sense to buy this one, I think, because the front mower doesn't do anything in terms of swathing. So yeah, I think this is going to be just suitable. So we'll pick this up for 13.5, and I hope it works. Now, with both of these mowers combined on the tractor, we have 160 horsepower and 60, so 220. We only have 175 or 180 horsepower. So we are a little bit under the recommended horsepower for operating both the mowers. However, that field is pretty flat, so I don't foresee it being too much of a problem. So we'll get back over to our field with this lime and the spreader, and then we will go over to the store, pick up the mower, and we'll start the mowing. So while I was on my way over to this second contract field, I had a bit of a mishap in the stream at the bottom of our rice field. So there's a bag of lime in the stream at the bottom of the field that we need to retrieve at some point. Yeah, there's a bag of lime just there in the stream, and that was a mishap. I was driving along here too fast and I tipped the tractor over. I'll have to go over this piece at the bottom of the field with some kind of leveling tool at some point. Once we have a little bit of spare time, I will make sure I take care of that. So we're over at the store. We'll just get the tractor repaired, so 1500 to get us repaired up to 100% again, and that should stop the vehicle from shutting down for the foreseeable future. As the hours continue increasing, I can imagine that the maintenance is going to go down quicker and quicker, so it's something we're going to have to bear in mind. Definitely going to need to get a new workshop on our new field. But for now, let's get back over to the farm. Let's mow the grass, bale it up, get it wrapped, and then we'll have some silage fermenting. I don't know how much grass we'll get off of this cut, because generally when you buy a field, the field state isn't that great. But once we have done the cut, we'll throw some lime down, which will be quite the task. We'll throw some fertilizer down, and then our next cut come, what will it be, probably March or April at this point, because the grass doesn't grow in winter. Our next cut will be quite profitable. And let's make sure we are on swath dropping. Toggle work mode. Oh, we're focused on the wrong. There we go, swath dropping. So we'll start the rear mower, and we'll start the front mower, and let's get our grass mowed. Huh, why isn't that dropping swaths? Okay, so it is dropping swaths, but not in the center. That's not what I was hoping for. Okay, let's get a few of these rows done and see how it looks. It's not working, is it? It's not swathing in the center. Well, there's nothing I can do about that for now. If I'd known that it wasn't swath dropping in the center, I wouldn't have bought it. Because now we need to buy a windrower. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here. It looks like there's a very slight difference when you turn it on to swath dropping. It doesn't swath in the center, but it concentrates the swaths a little further behind the left and right. Yeah, so it's not a true center swather. That is not what I was hoping for. If I'd known that, I would have purchased a cheap mower and used the extra money to buy a windrower. Once we finish this field, I will take a look in the store, see what options we have for cheaper mowers, because I don't really see the point in having this mower if it's only going to do swaths like that. That's really pointless. Yeah, I might just switch it out for the rear coon mower to match the front one, and then buy a windrower, because we're going to have to do an extra pass of the field to windrow anyway. So yeah, that's going to be the plan. Anyways, I will get the rest of this field done and I will come back to you once we are complete. Okay, so this was all completed rather quickly, and I realised a couple of things. Well, first of all, the mower doesn't behave in the way I would want it to, so it's kind of useless to us because we're going to have to go over this field now with a windrower, regardless of the expensive mower we bought. Second, the tractor's not powerful enough to run both these mowers at the same time. It kind of works once you get going, but it's on turns it's painfully slow. And third, this rear mower is way too big for this field. And by that I mean it took literally 3 minutes to go over the whole field. So I don't think that rear mower is suitable for our needs. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how much it's worth, and I think I'm going to sell it while it's still relatively new and buy a more suitable mower for the size of our current operation. And I think that's going to be this Kuhn here, because I don't want I want a butterfly mower. I think that's something that we need at this point. So yeah, I'm going to see how much that mower's worth. It's worth 39,000. Yeah, I don't see the point of having it. I know it's not that much difference from the 36,000. I just don't see the point in keeping something that's going to hold us back. We look at the Kuhn mower, it needs 120 plus the 60, so that's 180. That's going to be much more suitable to the capabilities of our current tractor. The other alternative is this single-sided one, but I don't think that I really want to entertain that. I would rather have something that can mow on both sides. So what I think I'm going to do then is sell this mower. Now I'm not going to buy a new mower right now because we need a windrower. So how much is a decent sized windrower going to cost us? This one 8.4 meters. Yeah, that's really what we're going to be looking for. I don't really want a 4 meter one. It's going to require too many passes of the field. So I think this 8.4 meter one is what we should be aiming for. So we'll pick this up, and then we need a few thousand for the other mower. But we can wait for that until we need to remow our field. We just need to remember to buy it before we remow our field and not get excited and spend all our money on other toys. I think we'll be okay because next month we'll sell the straw, then we'll have enough money to pick this up. So let's drop the front mower here. We'll go over to the store, pick up the windrower. We'll get the field windrowed, and then we'll get the baler out to bale everything, and then we'll wrap the bales. So I will continue on with some of this, and I'll be back with you soon. Okay, so we are almost done windrowing and baling the grass. So I worked it out that each of these bales, once they have fermented into silage, is worth about 860 at the premium sell price of around 240. And each time one of these bales is popping out the back of the baler, I'm thinking ka-ching, ka-ching, there is 860 euros towards our bank balance. So there are a lot of bales here. Let's switch off the baler. And I didn't reset the bales right at the beginning. I reset them after about 5. So we have 32 bales. So 32 times 860. We have about 25,000 euros sitting in the field here, which is absolutely fantastic given that we're struggling to make any amount of good income without cheesing liming contracts at the moment. So this is going to be the first substantial income we're getting from our own harvest. The next step is to get all of these bales wrapped up and collected off of the field. So I think I'll go around and wrap them all first, and then I'll take the trailer back over to our other field. We'll convert it into a bale trailer, and then we will go around and pick the bales up with the bale spike. So let's get this somewhere where it's not going to get in the way, which is kind of difficult at this point because we're going to need to get to those straw bales next month. So I'll park it over here. There you go, it should be okay there for now. I'll switch out for the wrapper. Now, should I put the wrapper on the front or the back? I'm thinking the front makes more sense. So let's spin ourselves around here. And we'll throw this on the front of the tractor. And let's get these bales wrapped up. Now, I'm not quite sure. Again, I've never used this before, so I'm not quite sure how it works. Let's take a look. So if we unfold it, first of all, I'm guessing we have to lower it, turn on automatic drop, and then you just bump into the bales. Is that how it works? Oh, there you go. That was fairly simple. And I also wonder if we're going to have enough wrap to get through all of these bales. We will soon find out. Yeah, so that's the only thing with this front-mounted wrapper, is you have to kind of let it wrap and then back away from it, rather than just kind of drag the bale wrapper over it. But we saved ourselves some money, even though we ended up wasting the money on the mower, so it's okay. Okay, so let's grab the next bale, and I'll continue on with wrapping the bales, and I will come back to you once we're done. we are almost done wrapping the bales. I think it's that one over there been done. I think that was the first one we did, wasn't it? I will go and double check it, but I think this is the last one. We had to go and buy some more bale wrap, and I realised that I kind of got screwed when I bought the wrapper, because we got charged €1,000 for 2 rolls of bale wrap. And when I went to top them up, I paid $4,000 for 40 rolls. So it seems like the Farming Simulator store screwed me over for the first 2. I'm not sure if there's more to that than just the wrap. I'm not sure if it actually equips the wrapper with the wrap. But considering you have to wrap anyway, I don't see how that is the case. So yeah, I feel like I got screwed out of another €1,000 alongside getting screwed for the mower. Anyways, I think what I'm going to do now is go over to the store and collect the trailer, take it back to the farm and reconfigure it, but then I'll skip through to December and I'll collect the bales off the field in December, because we're starting to lose light here, and yeah, I don't want to be collecting bales in the dark, so that's what I am going to do. I'm not quite losing light. Probably could pick up some of the bales, but we'll skip through to December, and in December we'll collect up the bales, we'll throw some lime down on the field, and then we'll also throw some fertilizer down on the field. That should keep us busy for December. November's been a good month. It's actually the first month since we started this series that we've actually been kept busy with our own tasks and not had to fill the time with contracts. So it's been a productive and a good month. So here we are at the store picking up the trailer. We'll go back over to our smaller field, and I'm happy we didn't sell the maintenance workshop now. In fact, I don't know why I'm doing that. Why don't I just get it reconfigured here while we're at the store? I don't need to actually go over... Oh, I do need to go over there, because I need the bale spike. No, I don't need the bale spike. Bale spike's on the new field. See, this is the problem with having 2 different fields in different parts of the map. You don't know which of your equipment is in which field. Maybe I'm just coping though, I don't know. Okay, we'll reverse into the workshop here, and let's get this trailer reconfigured. So we'll do that, and we'll configure it for the bale trailer. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, let's get back over to the field, and then we'll skip through... take the trailer with me, that always helps. So we'll get back over to the field, and then we'll skip through to December, and I will see you there. Okay, so it is December. Let's emerge from our container. Something I saw pop up in the store overnight is this Bailey bale and pallet trailer, and I really feel that this would be much more suitable for our baling than what we currently have. So if we look at this, it's much longer than what we currently have, so it's going to be able to fit many more bales, which is going to be very suitable for our grass field, because we yielded 32 bales off that grass field, and I don't even think that was the full potential of the yield, because once we have it limed and fertilized to an optimal level, I think we're going to be getting more bales than we did. So this is a good discount. It's like 40% something percent off. Yeah, 43% off. Now I know I said I wasn't going to spend our money on toys, but I feel like this might be a good play to help us with our bale collection. Now I'm not going to get auto load just yet. I might get it eventually, but I'm going to leave no auto load for now. We'll get the bale support. We don't need the decals. We'll get the non-UK attacher. We will get tension belts so that we can use it for pallets once we do have enough pallets to fill it with. And we'll get that nice Bachmann blue color. And then I think, yeah, we'll stick with the black rims. Okay, so let's pick this up. And I think this is a good investment, because by the time our grass is ready for cutting next, it's going to be March or April. We'll be able to sell our silage for some good profit then. So I think this is going to make picking up the bales off the field much more convenient, transporting them to sell points much more convenient than our current trailer. Next up, let's take a look at prices for this month. I believe our straw is going to be at a good price to sell. So first thing we'll do is load our straw onto a trailer and get that offloaded at Derek's sell point. And then let's see what else we have. Our wheat could be sold, but I want to save that for flour. And then that's all we have. So let's do that. We'll jump in our tractor and we'll get over to the store, pick up that new bale trailer, get the straw loaded onto it and get over to the sell point. Okay, so here we are at the Derek sell point. Let's offload these bales and get ourselves a little bit of income. There we go. So 3,500 for those straw bales. That's more than acceptable. It's just a byproduct of the wheat field that we harvested back in the summer. So now let's head back over to our field and let's get the grass bales picked up off the field. We'll have to stack them somewhere for now. 32 of them. I think we can probably load them on the trailer and let them ferment on the trailer because I can't see us needing this trailer before they're ready to be sold. So that's what I will do. They can live on the trailer until sell time. So I will get this done and then I will come back to you once we're complete. Okay, so we are almost done loading the bale trailer, and as I'm sure you just saw there at the end of the time lapse, the bales are behaving a little bit like the wood does when you put a lot of it on a trailer. They just kind of shake and quiver and fall off, so you have to make sure that you strap them in place as you load them with the tension belts. Fortunately, I've managed to load most of these up without too much of a problem. It's just these last few that have caused me slight issues, so we'll try and throw these last two on top here and then we'll hook up to the trailer and get everything secured in place, and then hopefully they will stay there. So they're all in place. Let's see how many we have, or how many litres we have in total. So 112,000 litres in total. It's going to be a nice 27,000 euros when it comes time to take these to a sell point. So for now, I think what I'll do is just reverse this trailer down next to the harvester. We'll purchase the field data for this field and we will get to liming it. We'll go over to, in fact we don't need to do that, do we? We just need to go into here like this. Purchase the soil information for 1400, and let's take a look. So the pH is pretty low. Don't know what the ideal pH for grass is, but we will see. And there's no nitrogen in the soil at all, so we need to give the whole field a coat of lime and a coat of fertilizer. So I will continue on with that, and then I'll come back to you soon. Okay, so that is our field limed and fertilized. We used quite a bit of lime as expected. Not so much fertilizer. We did pretty good with the fertilizer. The only thing I want to check is just the end here. I want to go over the end in the corners. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just want to kind of familiarize myself. If you go over the same piece twice, it does kind of... Oh no, it doesn't, does it? It only goes over... It only touches each part of the field once, so even if I go over it again, it doesn't increase the amount of fertilizer. That's okay though. We have pretty much perfect value for the entire field, and we are completely covered in lime. So let's take a quick look at some of the field data. You know what I could do while I have the fertilizer on is I could fertilize this field as well. Although no, wait, you have to wait until the crop is planted, because it depends on the crop the amount of fertilizer you need. So we'll leave that until we've planted rice in that field next season. Definitely rice, not wheat. So what else do we have to consider? I think we are in a pretty good place to move into the new year. Let's take a look at the growth calendar quickly, and let's take a look at grass. So grass doesn't grow in December, January or February. So when it starts growing, I think March, April, it grows every 2 months, doesn't it? Yeah, so April or May we're going to have our first grass harvest of next year, which is perfect. And then when we look at rice, so long grain rice we're going to plant in April. And then let's take a look at our VIP orders. What do we need? We need 9,000 litres of sorghum, 11,000 litres of wheat. So I'm thinking maybe we plant sorghum in that smaller field for next season. But I'm also thinking that small field won't yield us 9,000 litres of sorghum, because we could do that before we sell it. We could aim to sell this next year. What we could do is sell our workshop, make all of this into a field again, and then try and get the 9,000 out of it. No, that won't work, will it? Because when we initially harvested this field, when it didn't have any buildings on it, we got about 9,000 litres of wheat. And sorghum doesn't yield as much as wheat, so we're not going to get 9,000 litres of sorghum no matter how much of this field we have. However, we could still plant sorghum in it to get some crop to deposit in the grain mill, and then we can aim to sell this next year once we've got enough money together to buy a new silo and transfer all of our current product over to our new field. I think that's going to be the play. And then once we start gaining some more money, we can think about building some buildings on this field, maybe once we've done another grass harvest. So with that said, I think this is a good place to leave this episode. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying following along. If you are, of course, please do give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And I will be back tomorrow with the next episode. Until then, bye for now.